Hi, these are the 5 things that I picked up during my CA prep days that I'm actually using to make everyday life decisions like, do I need that Netflix subscription? Or should I rent or buy that bike? The first one is time value of money. Imagine you have this option of receiving 10,000 rupees today or 10,000 rupees 6 months from now. Which one are you going to choose? Consider these 3 things before making your decision. The first one is that if you receive 10,000 rupees today, you can put it in your bank in an FD or invest it in mutual funds, and the cumulative amount is going to be higher than 10,000 rupees 6 months from now. The second one is that because of inflation or high demand, a product costing 10,000 rupees today, like a phone, the same product could cost more 6 months from now. The third one is that since you're supposed to receive money in the future, there is no absolute guarantee that it's going to happen. So time value of money basically says that the value of X amount of money today is more than the value of the same X amount of money in the future. This is because of the potential earning capacity. Second one is break-even point. Let's take the example of Raj and Priya. Because of the busy work schedules and doom scrolling, they've been inside and just staring at screens the whole day, and they decide that it's time to go out and spend some time in the nature. They go to a nearby park and see that there are bicycles available for rent for cycling. Now they have 2 options. They can either rent the cycle for each day worth 100 rupees, or they can purchase another bicycle for 4,000 rupees. So which one would they choose? Which one would be more beneficial for them? Now here comes the break-even point. Break-even point is basically the point at which the costs can be recovered. So in this case, we can calculate it by taking the purchase price of the bicycle, which is 4,000 rupees, divided by the amount of rent to be paid each day, which is 100. So that comes to 40. So break-even point of 40 means that if someone wants to ride a bicycle more than 40 times, it's more beneficial to buy the bicycle than to rent it. So in this example, suppose Raj wants to ride the bicycle for once a week, 6 months. That means he's going to ride it 6 into 4, 24 times. So if he rents the bicycle, he's going to pay 2,400, but if he buys it, he has to pay 4,000 rupees. So it's more beneficial for him to rent for each of those days. Now, Priya, on the other hand, she wants to ride the bicycle twice a week for 6 months. That means she's going to use it 48 times. In this scenario, it makes more sense for her to buy the bicycle for 4,000 than to rent it and pay 4,800 rupees. Now this break-even point can be used to make other decisions like, do you need that Netflix subscription? Do you need to pay the gym membership? Or do you want to buy that coffee machine? Third one is the ABC rule of inventory. Imagine after a nice long weekend, which was very relaxing, you go to the office, open your laptop, and then you're bombarded with 3 messages. The first one is from your manager asking about the report due. The second one is from your colleagues with whom you're working on a group project. And the third one are from a group of new joinees who want to spend some time with you for your guidance and to review some of their work. What are we going to do? Here comes the ABC rule of inventory, which basically says that all the items or the tasks can be categorized into 3 parts. The first one is A, which is most valuable. Second one is B, which is of moderate value. And the last one is C, which is of least value. So based on the upcoming deadlines and the amount of time and effort to be put into each of these items, these 3 items can be categorized into the respective buckets and can be worked on. I have used ABC rule of inventory when I wanted to make my study schedules or when I had a huge to-do list of items on a particular day, and honestly, it's been a game changer. The next one is opportunity cost. Now Arjun loves cricket and he decides that on this upcoming Friday, he's going to watch this cricket match for 3 hours from beginning to end in his living room, sitting on the couch and doing nothing else. That means in those 3 hours, he's not going to be able to watch this really cool movie on Netflix or go to his favorite restaurant and eat food or study for his upcoming exam. So here, the opportunity cost of Arjun for watching this cricket match is that all these 3 other things that he's giving up on or trading to be able to watch the match. So opportunity cost is basically like the next best alternative or a trade-off that we're doing to make one decision. Another example of using opportunity cost to make a decision is that Priya has a very stable job and is earning a good amount of money, but she's considering whether she wants to pursue her master's. So while making this decision, apart from the tuition fees, the accommodation costs, the travel expenses, another cost that she should consider is that the opportunity cost of working for those 2 years instead of studying, which would include the salary that she would have received for those 2 years and also the experience and exposure with the amount of work that she would have done. Opportunity cost basically helps us to make more mindful decisions because we're very aware of what are the other things that we have to give up on in order to make something happen. The last one is return on investment. Now, when we think of investment, we think of Shark Tank and investing huge amounts of money in a company. But investment can come in different forms. Apart from cost, it can also be the time and the effort that we're putting in for something. For example, you decide to buy a book costing 300 rupees and you spend some time reading it. So now your investment here, apart from the cost, is also the time spent on reading the book and the energy and the attention that you've given to it. Now, if this book turns out to be really boring and blah, your return on investment could be negative. But if you actually pick up really cool things from this book, like how to start a company, or there's a huge change in your mindset, if it's inspired you to do something, then your return on this investment could be huge. Another example could be Ram, and he's planning to travel overseas for the first time, and he's deciding whether he wants to take a premium economy ticket or a business class ticket. Now he has to see whether the difference in amount, which is going to be the investment, is going to be worth the return of all the benefits and the perks he could receive. So if it is for a short duration flight, then maybe it might not be worth it. But if it is for a long duration flight, it could be. So before making any decisions, it's always important to see if investment that we're making in terms of time, money, effort, everything, what is the return that we're going to receive on it, and if it is going to be worth it or not. So that's it for this video. I hope your return on investment on this video is actually positive. So see you soon in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.